Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're on a really specific mission focused entirely on you, our listener.
That's right.
You're getting ready for that AWS Solution Architect interview, and you've given us this great stack of sources, really foundational stuff. Our job today, to basically unpack all that, pull out the most important nuggets, the key insights, really help you feel ready for those interview questions.
Exactly. We're looking at the tech concepts, but also the AWS way of building things and the unique Amazon culture. It's all connected.
It really is. The goal is to make you feel super well-informed, ready to tackle it. Okay, let's get into it.
Sounds good. And what's really interesting, I think, is that the interview, it's not just testing your tech knowledge.
No, not at all.
It's much broader.
Yeah.
It's about how you solve problems, how you actually design solutions, and crucially, how you'd fit into how Amazon works day to day.
That cultural fit piece.
Yeah. And these sources you shared, they're like getting a look inside the playbook. It shows what Amazon really values, what they expect. So we'll connect those dots, architecture, tech, the Amazon way, especially for showing your stuff in the interview.
Perfect. So let's start with that blueprint, the foundation for building on AWS. The AWS Architecture Center comes up first.
Right. The reference architectures, the diagrams.
Exactly. And the big thing there is the AWS well-architected framework. The source calls it the guide for building on the cloud.
It is fundamental.
And its purpose, it says right here, is to help cloud architects build secure, high-performing, resilient, and efficient architectures. So, okay, that sounds good, but what does that actually mean in practice for an essay? What are the core bits?
That's a great question because it's not just some document you read once. The well-architected framework is really a way of thinking. It's how you should approach every design.
A mindset, you said earlier.
The design mindset, yeah. It gives you this consistent way to look at what you've built, or, more importantly, how to design something new that's scalable, that works well. It ensures you're covering all the bases,
Okay.
And it's built around these 6 pillars. Each one is an area where, as an essay, you're really expected to know your stuff and show how you apply it.
6 pillars. Okay, let's break them down.
Right. First up, operational excellence. This isn't just like keeping the servers running. It's about how you run and monitor systems, how you automate things, improve your processes constantly. Think CI/CD, run books, learning from failures.
Right, being proactive. So an interview question might be about monitoring or recovery design.
Absolutely. Like how would you set up monitoring for this system? Okay, second, security. This one's huge, obviously.
Table stakes, really.
Totally. Protecting data, systems, assets. For an essay, it means designing with things like least privilege, encryption everywhere, rest and transit strong access controls.
Yeah.
You'll definitely get asked about security design. Maybe walk me through securing sensitive data.
Makes sense. Third,
reliability. This is about making sure your application does what it's supposed to do reliably, even when things go wrong.
So handling failure.
Exactly. Designing for high availability, fault tolerance, thinking about disaster recovery. An interviewer might ask, how do you keep this running if an entire AWS region has issues?
Okay. That's 3. What's next?
Performance efficiency. This is about using resources smartly, getting the performance you need without overspending or wasting compute power.
So not just fast, but efficiently fast.
Precisely. Choosing the right instance types, storage, databases, and tuning them. A typical question could be, how would you optimize a website on AWS that gets tons of traffic?
Got it. Pillar number 5.
Cost optimization. This one gets a lot of attention for obvious reasons. Avoiding unnecessary spend.
Always important to the business side.
Always. For an essay, it's about right-sizing, using reserved instances or savings plans, maybe serverless where it fits, constantly looking for waste. A classic question. How do you cut AWS costs without hurting performance?
Okay. And the last one, number 6.
And the 6th one, which is a bit newer but increasingly important, is sustainability. Minimizing the environmental impact of your cloud workloads.
Interesting. How does an essay influence that?
By designing for efficiency, really. Using less compute means less energy. Choosing efficient storage, maybe using greener AWS regions if possible. You might get asked, how do your design choices affect the environmental footprint?
Wow. Okay. So 6 pillars covering operations, security, reliability, performance, cost, and sustainability. It's comprehensive.
It really is. And it's about how they all work together.
Right. It sounds like you need to balance them sometimes. Like maybe more reliability costs more.
Exactly. That's a key point. The biggest mistake people make in interviews is just listing the pillars.
Ah, okay.
You need to show you understand the trade-offs. how boosting security might impact cost or performance. A good SA can explain why they made certain design choices, balancing these pillars based on the customer's actual needs.
So providing concrete examples from your experience is crucial.
Absolutely critical. Use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result to show how you apply these principles. And the source also mentioned decision guides in the Architecture Center, right? Those help with the practical side. Choosing the right service for the job within this framework.
That makes total sense. It's about the how and why, not just the what. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Moving from the framework to some specific, more advanced tech. Let's talk AI.
Right.
The Cloud Computing Concepts Hub sources aim to, quote, up-level your understanding of frequently asked cloud computing topics. For an essay, I guess it's less about being an AI researcher and more about application. How do you use AWS AI services?
You nailed it. It's about deploying and integrating AWS's AI services to solve business problems. The source defines artificial intelligence, AI, broadly as, solving cognitive problems like learning, image recognition, the stuff humans do.
Right.
But the key for an essay is that companies now have tons of data, right? From sensors, logs, users, and AWS AI services help make sense of it all. The goal, it says, is to create self-learning systems that derive meaning from data and then use that knowledge to solve problems in human-like ways. It's about bringing that power to businesses without them needing huge AI teams.
So enabling businesses, an interview question might be about identifying where AI could help a company.
Yeah, exactly. Describe a scenario where AI could give a business an edge, that sort of thing.
Okay. And building on that general AI concept, what about generative AI? It's everywhere now. How does the source position it for an essay?
Generative AI is definitely hot. The source says it's a type of AI that can create new content and ideas, including conversations, stories, images, videos, and music.
Creating new stuff, not just analyzing old stuff.
Exactly. It can learn languages, programming, complex topics, and then reuses training data to solve new problems. Think about automating marketing copy, creating test data, even helping write code.
So many possibilities.
Huge potential.
Yeah.
As an SA, you need to understand where it fits. An interviewer might ask, a client wants to automate personalized emails. How could generative AI help?
Okay. But using this powerful AI, it's not magic. The source brings up prompt engineering. Sounds very deliberate. What is that exactly?
It's super important. Prompt engineering is the process where you guide generative AI requires detailed instructions to generate desired outputs.
Yeah.
Basically, the AI is only as good as the instructions you give it.
Garbage in, garbage out, but for instructions.
Kind of, yeah. You need to craft really clear, specific prompts, choosing the right words, format, symbols. It involves creativity plus trial and error. So if you're building, say, a tool to summarize reports, a bad prompt is just summarize this. A good prompt specifies the length, the key points to extract, the tone. As an essay recommending a Gen AI solution, you need to grasp that this tuning, this prompt crafting, is vital for getting the actual business outcome the customer wants.
So you need to understand the process of getting good results from the AI, not just that the AI exists.
Precisely. You might get asked, tell me about a time you had to refine AI output. How did you use prompts?
Interesting. It's a real blend of tech and almost communication skills with the AI. Okay, one more AI concept. Conversational AI. How's this different from, the basic chatbots we've seen for years?
Good question. Conversational AI, the source says, makes software capable of understanding and responding to voice-based or text-based human conversations. The big difference, it goes beyond the traditional human chat, limited to pre-programmed inputs.
So it understands more naturally.
Much more naturally. A basic bot needs exact phrases. Conversational AI uses natural language processing to understand intent, context, variations in language. It can recognize all types of speech and text input, mimic human interactions, understand and respond in various languages.
So more like talking to a person.
Closer, yeah. For an SA, this means designing better user experiences, customer service bots that actually help, voice interfaces, internal assistants. You'd be thinking about how users can interact naturally, not just clicking buttons. An interview scenario might be, design a virtual assistant for customer support using AWS conversational AI services.
Okay, that clarifies the AI landscape a bit. General AI, generative, prompt engineering, conversational, all tools in the SA toolkit.
Exactly. Tools to solve customer problems.
So we've got the how to build with well-architected and the what to build with looking at AI. Now let's talk about how you operate at AWS. This brings us squarely to the leadership principles.
Yes. The LPs.
The source is very clear. These are used every day, discussing ideas, deciding how to solve problems. They're what makes Amazon peculiar. Understanding these, demonstrating them, it sounds absolutely essential for the interview.
It's more than essential. It's foundational. These 16 principles, they really are the core of Amazon's culture. And interviews, especially for roles like SA, are heavily weighted towards assessing them.
Seriously. They're looking for specific behaviors, the mindset they expect, as interact with customers, make big design calls, influence teams. So embodying these principles is critical. Many, many interview questions are behavioral, designed specifically to see how you've demonstrated these LPs in your past work.
So it's not enough to just know the list.
Not even close. You need stories, concrete examples.
Okay, let's touch on a few key ones for an essay, using the source's language, and think about that interview angle. First, customer obsession.
Right. Leaders start with the customer and work backwards. Obsess over customers. For an SA, this means really truly understanding the customer's business problem, maybe even better than they articulate it themselves sometimes.
Going deeper than the request.
Yes. And designing the right solution for them, even if it means pushing back gently on what they initially asked for. An interview question could be, tell me about a time you disagreed with a customer but did what was best for them long term.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next, ownership. Leaders are owners. Think long-term. Never say that's not my job. An essay shows this by seeing a solution through, not just tossing the design over the wall. If there's a problem during deployment or operation, they step up.
Taking responsibility.
Taking full responsibility, even if it's not strictly in their job description. You might get asked, describe a time you took ownership of something outside your direct responsibilities.
All right, how about invent and simplify?
Leaders expect innovation and invention. Always find ways to simplify. For an essay, this is about constantly looking for better ways, using new AWS services, finding simpler architectural patterns, making complex things easier to manage for the customer, not being stuck in the we've always done it this way rut.
Being creative and efficient.
Yeah. And externally aware, looking for ideas everywhere. An interview question might be, tell me about a complex process you simplified.
Makes sense. And this one feels vital in tech, bias for action.
Speed matters. We value calculated risk-taking. SaaS can't afford analysis paralysis. They need to make good decisions quickly, especially for those two-way door decisions you can reverse if needed.
Moving forward, not getting stuck.
Exactly. Prioritizing action and learning. Interviewers love asking, give an example of a time you had to act fast with limited data.
Okay, and one dear to our hearts here. Dive deep.
Leaders operate at all levels. Stay connected to the details. Skeptical when metrics and anecdote differ. This is so essay. You can't just do high-level diagrams. You need to be able and willing to dig into logs, configurations, API calls, whatever it takes to solve a problem or validate something. No task beneath you.
Rolling up your sleeves.
Totally. A classic question. Describe a time you had to dive really deep to find the root cause of a technical issue.
And learn and be curious. Seems essential for AWS.
Leaders are never done learning. Curious about new possibilities. Cloud tech changes so fast. SaaS have to be constantly learning, experimenting with new services, keeping up to date. It's just part of the job.
So demonstrating that continuous learning.
Definitely. Expect questions like, what's something new you learned recently and how did you use it?
And finally, let's touch on deliver results.
Leaders focus on the key inputs. Deliver them with the right quality and in a timely fashion. Despite setbacks, they rise to the occasion. This ties it all together, right?
Yeah.
A great design is useless if it doesn't get implemented or doesn't actually solve the customer's problem. It's about seeing things through, overcoming roadblocks.
Accountability.
Accountability and getting it done. You'll likely be asked, tell me about a time you delivered a critical project despite facing major challenges.
Wow. Okay. It's crystal clear these LTs aren't just corporate fluff. They're woven into the interview and the job itself.
They absolutely are. And again, the key for the interview is having specific stories ready, structured using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result, for each principle they might ask about. Don't just say, I have a bias for action. Tell the story that proves it.
That's invaluable advice. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We went from the well-architected framework as the blueprint.
Right, the how to build.
To specific tech like AI, generative AI, prompt engineering.
The what to build with.
And finally, the leadership principles, the Amazon culture.
The how to operate.
So pulling it all together, what's the big takeaway for someone prepping for that essay interview?
The big takeaway is that it's holistic. You can't just cram service details. You need to show you understand how to design good, solid, cost-effective solutions on AWS using the well-architected framework. You need to grasp what technologies like AI can do for customers. And crucially, you need to demonstrate how you operate, how you embody those leadership principles through your past experiences.
It's the whole package.
It's the whole package. And, these things aren't just for the interview. The well-architected framework, that's good design anywhere. AI, it's changing everything. The LPs, they foster good judgment and collaboration in any role.
That's a great point. This preparation has broader value.
Definitely. So I'd encourage you, the listener, to really think about how these frameworks and principles apply to your own work, your own problem-solving style. How do you approach these things?
Absolutely. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. How do you personally demonstrate something like dive deep or customer obsession day to day? And looking ahead, what new cloud possibilities will your learn and be curious principle lead you to explore next? Thinking about those questions will really help solidify this.
Well said.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We genuinely hope this gives you that extra edge and confidence for your AWS Solution Architect interview. Good luck.